Okay, so I'm responding to the prompt about Dogtown and Z-Boys and innovative language in sports. And I rewatched the video and picked up a few new um, sort of uses of language that they had in there. A couple of them, like double carbs or something to that effect. It seemed like some sort of technical vocabulary, so something in particular that you could do while skating a pool. I don't know anything about skateboarding to preface this, but it seems like, yeah, some sort of move that you can do. And then there are a lot of things that I could figure out by context, but that uh, I wouldn't normally say or hear if I'm not talking about skateboarding. So, for example, the lip of the pool. I would just say like if I were swimming in a pool, I would just say the edge of the pool. But I guess in the context of an empty pool and sorry, I'm like in the context of an empty pool and when you're skateboarding, I guess it's more appropriate to use the lip. Um, Additionally, grinding and pivoting on the lip, so using the lip again, and obviously like grinding, you can sort of. I think it's pretty common knowledge as to what that is in skateboarding, but you can also sort of figure it out by context. What would a grind be? Well, it's when your skateboard grinds against the lip or the rail. Um, let's see, a few other ones. They used a couple of runs in order to talk about their various attempts. So when they're skating, they don't call it another attempt. I guess they called it another run, which I guess is also used in other situations. Let's see. So for example, in the community of people who so speed run, so that means to play a video game and try to finish it and beat it as quickly as possible. And so you're usually broadcasting this online and trying to optimize how quickly you can get it through. So in that, it's even in the name there, speed run. Um, so they'll say that they can try a 100% run, which means they're going to try to finish 100% of the game on this run or this attempt. Um, Another way they talked about their attempts or runs were barging sessions. I guess this has more of a connotation of not being allowed to be in the pool. So they're barging in, maybe. Um, Along with on the lip, there's in the bowl. So they liken the pool to a bowl. So it's the same shape, I presume. Then I heard busting moves and pushing limits. So it seemed like throughout the video there was this feeling of wanting to be the best. They said, oh, anybody could be the best on any given day. So apparently it was desirable to be considered the best skater in the pool on that in that particular run. So they talk about busting moves. So bust a move obviously comes back or is has been around longer than skateboarding. At least I assume so. Um, but they're applying it to their situation in terms of doing a really cool trick or manipulating their skateboard and their body in a certain way. Um, and they also talk about pushing limits and trying to bust more impressive moves. Uh, so in other sports, in soccer at least, I don't know. I don't watch a ton of soccer, so I couldn't really speak to the commentary. But in terms of just speaking with teammates and things like that, there's a lot of technical language that I hear, which might serve as sort of a barrier to entry for people wanting to get into. I mean, I guess that's true for any sport. But for soccer, at least, some of the ones that come to mind are a give and go. So when two teammates are trying to get around a defender, they basically pass the ball one to the other and make a little triangle. So the original player who passed the ball will run past the other player and receive the pass from the second player who they just passed to. So it makes a little V, a give and a go. Additionally, there's a through ball when you pass a ball to your teammate through two opposing players, so you split them. Um, so defenders are always on the lookout not to get split by a through ball. Across, so kicking the ball across the field to a teammate. Uh, really relevant with, especially when you're trying to score down at the opposing team's goal, crossing the ball into the box in front of the goal to a teammate for maybe a volley, and then a PK, just an abbreviation for penalty kick, and most people know what that is, I would guess, but it's just a kick rewarded or awarded to a team who has been fouled inside the opposing team's box by the defense. I'm sure there's other situations, but like a PK shootout. But yeah. So in Super Smash Bros. Melee, the game that I play, there's also a lot of technical vocabulary, mostly describing different button inputs that you can do. For example, a bear, that's an abbreviation for back air, which I guess is an abbreviation for back aerial. So when your character is in the air and you're able to do an attack while you're jumping in a certain direction, so back. So there's bear, there's fair or forward air. So when you're in the air and you attack in a forward direction, that's a different button input, meaning a different move. And so people use these to talk about what the character is doing. So the goal of the game is to essentially hit use your character and their moves to hit the other character while avoiding their moves. So there's fair forward air, bear back air, dare, that's down aerial in a downward direction. Nair, yeah, there's a lot of them. Yeah, so mostly describing button inputs. But then there's also like if you beat, they sort of make some words into verbs like with skate, and we skated a pool. You can make if you beat someone really badly in a game by retaining all 4 of the lives, or they're called stocks. If you retain all 4 of the stocks that you started out with and without losing any of them to the opposing player, then you call it a 4 stock. So you kept all 4 of your stocks, therefore you 4 stocked the person. So yeah, for an example sentence, I didn't die once, therefore I 4 stocked him. So that's another example, just like the skate, we skated a pool. Additionally, there's a lot of way. I noticed there's a lot of ways to say that you beat someone really badly, which signals to me that the culture around the game is dependent on who you can beat and embarrassing the other person. Not necessarily all the time, but I guess that's where a lot of like the drama and backstory, because I feel like the only reason anybody, not the only reason, but the main reason a lot of people get into sports is for the backstory. That's why the WWE exists. It's all about the plot line. And so these big polarizing defeats make for a really good story. So there's a lot of language in turn that describes these, big upsets and defeats. So in addition to 4 stocking or 3 stocking someone, you can say a lot of times I hear the phrase "get bodied." So and so got bodied by this other guy, and that means to lose really badly. And I don't think that doesn't come from Smash. That's I think that's pretty common. But Smashers have definitely been using that a lot recently. The last one I thought of was really popular in the online community is Wombo Combo, which is just a reference to a Smash video where someone gets beaten really badly and the commentator's just going crazy yelling Wombo Combo. Nobody knows what it means, but now it's sort of ubiquitous in the gaming and online communities, just meaning someone's getting beaten really badly. So yeah, I guess Smash and soccer also have these sort of innovative uses of language.